The cultural movement known as Romanticism is deeply rooted in the French Revolution and the intellectual, social, and political changes it brought about. The Romanticism was anticipated by the German literary movement Sturm und Drang, storm and stress, in Italian impeto e tempesta. As it often happens, Romanticism started as a reaction against the previous cultural movement, that is, Neoclassicism, which flourished during the Age of Enlightenment, also known as the Age of Reason, because it focused on society, rationality, and order. The Romantics replaced them with individual emotions and imagination. A new theory of knowledge was adopted, that is, the knowledge of the heart based on feeling and emotion as opposed to the knowledge of the head. The inner self interpreted and reshaped reality, and therefore the subjective interpretation replaced objectivity, celebrating the freedom of the individual. Individualism became a form of isolation from society. Isolation in nature, revolt against establishment, and exile from the mother country. The imagination was the central point of the creative process, connecting the human mind to the physical world, the human and the divine. In William Blake's words, all of nature was imagination, and man should try to see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower. Considering the focus on individualism, individual feeling, emotion, and imagination, literature now contained autobiographical elements, and in poetry, the first-person lyric became a major genre. To create literature, the authors drew from inspiration and creativity, sometimes stimulated by the use of drugs. The Romantics were also fascinated by the supernatural, dreams, nightmares, and visions, sometimes induced through drugs. Regarding the role of the poet and of the artist, it became that of a teacher who spoke to everyone, not only the educated readers, using a simple language, everyday topics, and common situations, and sometimes using popular literary forms such as ballads. The artist was also a prophet whose mission was to strive for the infinite, awaken the common man, and make him realize the potential of the human mind and the healing power of nature. Regarding the themes, they revolved around contrasts, such as the contrast between innocence and experience, youth and age, man and nature, the relationship between them becoming sometimes contrasting because we have to consider that during the Industrial Revolution, men tried to discover the secrets of nature to control it. Other contrasts concerned the countryside and the city. The countryside was considered as an idyllic place compared to the industrial city, which was viewed as the place of all corruption. The individual and society, past and present, and the cult of the exotic, because the Romantics were attracted by what was far from them in time and space. Childhood was also a very important theme to the Romantics, because, while in the Age of Enlightenment, children were considered as small adults and treated accordingly, the Romantics viewed them as pure and innocent, and therefore as the closest creatures to God, at least until society corrupted them. English Romanticism conventionally covers the period between 1798, the year of the publication of Lyrical Ballads, a collection of poems written by William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and 1837, the year of the coronation of Queen Victoria. Other than William Blake, who is considered an early romantic and the forerunner of the movement, we have the first generation of poets, which includes William Wordsworth and Samuel Taylor Coleridge, also known as the Lake Poets. The second generation includes Lord Byron, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and John Keats.